everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About Show. I'm your host, Dylan Strickland, and today let's talk about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Joining me once again is the very tall and immensely handsome Gabe Anderson. How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Glad to be back.
Filling in for Kirby today, as he is predisposed, is comic enthusiast and actor Jon Acosta. How are you doing, man?
What's up? I'm doing great.
And finally, our guest once again, actor and maybe YouTuber somewhere down the line, Tanner Pieper. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
All right. I think today we're just going to slide right into doing the Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff. There's no predispositions of what we're going to talk about. We're just going to throw our general thoughts and opinions out there as soon as the show starts today. So, Gabe, what are your overall opinions and thoughts on the show, man? What do you think about it?
I think it was very, and I really liked it to start off with. Like, I thought it was very good, very amazing. I thought it was a bit like WandaVision in the aspect of it was a pretty slow burn. It took a couple of episodes to really get everything going.
Yeah, I get that. How about you, John? What are your overall thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I don't think I've ever seen Marvel be that real when it comes to the social issues.
Dude, for real.
That was really cool. I didn't see that coming, honestly. Like when it got that real, I was like, what? In a Marvel stuff? What?
Yeah, and who better to talk about it than three white guys?
You know, I saw what your original lineup was gonna be, and I was like,
before Kirby came in, four white dudes talking about a show about social injustice.
But no, it was awesome. I do agree with Gabe that it was a little bit of a slow burn, but you know, once it got going, and it was never like too slow of a burn to where I wasn't still hooked onto it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, congrats to them for being able to hold us on even during that period. But yeah, it was awesome. I mean, a lot of great character growth and a lot of great talk about social issues that I was not expecting.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel about it, Tanner?
No, I just pretty much everything they just said. I thought it was a little short. Like, I had no idea that was the last episode. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, and it just kind of happened. And I was like, oh, that's the last one. It just kind of just felt like one big movie. But I thought it was good.
I think that's how they shot it. I think they shot it as like 1 6-hour film.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you said that though, because the showrunner was on about how he wanted 9 episodes. Like he was like, if I had gotten my 9-episode dream, I would have given an episode to Torres.
His psychic.
What a shame. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, okay. How did you feel about, like, speaking of like the social injustice, and like that's kind of the theme that goes all throughout the show, and that's really more prominent in Sam than it is Bucky, just because it makes more sense to be prominent for Sam. So how did you feel about like his journey and like taking up the name and then accepting that role as like the Captain America that basically not the Captain America he thought he was going to become, but the Captain America he chooses to become? How did you feel about that, John?
I mean, I thought that was great. I think one of my favorite parts of the show is when Bucky like straight up tells him, like, you know, I don't think Steve thought about what it meant to hand a black man the shield and hand him the mantle. And he was like, I didn't think about it either. You know, and he was like, how could we? You know, we haven't lived through your experience, and it just wasn't the first thing that crossed our mind. It
was kind of interesting to see, like, I don't know, that just it was interesting to see Bucky pushing for it and Sam like basically holding his ground and being like, no, you don't understand like what it's like. Like, you don't understand what I'm like grappling with. You don't understand what I will be taking on by like taking up the shield. And so whenever Bucky's like, if he was wrong about you, or then he was wrong about me or whatever. And it's like it's a really personal moment for Bucky, but it's something deeper for Sam that Bucky can't quite understand. And I like that realization for Bucky as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Bucky had to realize it, but like Sam had to realize it. And Sam was kind of on this journey of like, you know, depending on who you are as an audience member, it leads you to like what side you're on, as far as like Bucky, like, man, you should have taken up the mantle, or if you're somebody else that just gets it, then you're also with Sam. We're like, no, man, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
to to be a minority or a person of color that wears the stars and stripes comes with a lot.
Especially after that Isaiah shit. Like they didn't hold back with the Isaiah shit.
They did not, and
Yeah.
that was like completely based off of his comic run from in the early 2000s. It was like
It was
Truth, Red, White, and Black, and
was it
like,
the Vietnam War in the comics? I think, right? It was.
I think
Vietnam?
it was the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
It was something like that. But they experimented on him, and they held him in prison for a very long time. His
Mhm.
wife died while he was in prison, and he went through that because he was African American. Like,
Yeah.
that was the only difference between him and Steve Rogers.
Yeah, I've been seeing these fan edits of like Isaiah telling a story about how he like goes into the prisoner of war camp and saves all the people, and then like they collage that with Steve in the first Avenger when he comes back after saving all the people from the prisoner of war camp, and Bucky's
Mhm.
like, "Let's hear it for Captain America," and then everybody like cheers, and then they cut it to like Isaiah talking about how what did he get for doing it? They just threw him in jail for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that's how it is, then you need to have some more honest conversations. But that's how it is.
How did you feel about it, Tanner? What did you think about Sam's journey and like him having to accept the role of Captain America?
No, I thought it was cool. I just got just like Jonathan was mentioning how they said like Bucky didn't really understand that it wasn't because he didn't want to be Captain America. It was just he was dealing with a different problem than just becoming Captain America. He was dealing with the problem of becoming the first Black Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like that didn't even like cross my mind at like the end, like at the end of Avengers Endgame. I think everyone knew that like it was going to be hard for Sam to live up to Steve Rogers, but it wasn't just about living up to Steve Rogers. It was about something else entirely.
Dude,
And I'm glad
totally.
they didn't. And I'm glad they just didn't make it about him like having to live up to Steve Rogers. Like they added that.
Mhm.
Like it seems so I don't know obvious now when I think about it that they put in the whole like racial injustice like
Mhm.
storyline, but it just didn't click for me until I started watching the show.
I
And I
didn't.
thought it was a good conflict.
I didn't think about it coming out of Endgame until about a year later when I was like, I don't know, I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was like scrolling through fucking Reddit or something. And this person was like telling a story. They were like, I was sitting next to a black lady during Avengers Endgame. And in the scene where Steve hands the shield to Sam, she like audibly said out in the audience, she's like, she gave that shield to a black man. And I was like, holy shit, like I just literally did not think about it at all. Like I don't know why. I guess I wasn't like I don't mind, maybe I wasn't socially aware at all or whatever, but I was like I don't know. I was just like, yeah, he's Captain America and then we'll move on. But I'm glad I'm glad they went. At first I was like, I'm not really glad where they're going with Sam's story, because in Endgame it's kind of clear that they didn't have the intention to do that. At least it felt like to me. Like when he says like, thank you, I'll do my best. You're like, okay, then he's just going to take up the shield. Like it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then immediately he's like, nah, actually I'm going to turn it into a museum. So it took me a little bit to get used to the idea that that was what he would do, like what he was doing. But then I was like, okay, if he thought about it, this is actually probably what he would do.
Yeah.
How about you, Gabe? How did you feel about it?
I mean, I agree with everybody. I think that the conversation between him and Brody in the very beginning has a whole new light to it. At least for me, I didn't even think about the whole racial thing until he literally lays it out for Bucky.
Yeah. I mean, shit, why would we?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Exactly.
I just thought like they were kind of throwing out the breadcrumbs, like, oh, like that is something he's going to have to deal with, but it's mostly about, him living up to Steve. But the fact that it's all these different factors that are keeping him from picking up the mantle.
Yeah, it's multifaceted.
I thought it was, exactly. I thought, very well written.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I really struggled with it in the beginning because I was like, I watch, because I'm an idiot, so I like watch all the movies up until like the premiere. So like I went straight from him being like, I'll do my best, and like shaking Steve's hand and then being like, fuck off, old man. And then like right into the like him turning in the shield to the museum. And I was like, it felt a little jarring. But then as the show goes on, especially after the Isaiah shit, like where Isaiah is like the scene where him and Isaiah are sitting in Isaiah's bunker, and he's like, they will never let a black man be Captain America. And he's like, and no like self-respecting black man would ever take up the mantle. And that turn, see, when he said that, for some reason I was under the impression that like maybe Sam wouldn't go as like Captain America. Like he wouldn't take that moniker. He would do something else like the Eagle or something. Like he would take up a different name. So I was expecting that in the last episode, and then I don't know why I was expecting that, because I guess that it felt like that Isaiah conversation really had some sort of like pull on him. But I do like his decision instead to just be like, nah, I'm gonna fight it. Like I'm gonna be Captain America. And that scene where he throws the shield and like goes to the window and then stands up, and he's like, who are you supposed to be? And he's like, I'm Captain America. I was like, okay, I buy it. I'm on board.
Yeah, you know, you talked about having trouble like adjusting to Falcon going from, yeah, I'll do my best, to, hey, I need to hand this to a museum.
Yeah.
But if you look at just the writers that changed from the writers of Endgame versus the writers of Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Like Malcolm Spellman is the writer for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and he's African American,
mm-hmm.
right? So you have this difference of like, you know, there are these white writers and they kind of make it seem like he's immediately going to take it on. And then there's Marvel hires an African American writer to come in, and he kind of introduces this idea of like, well, he might have thought about it a lot more afterwards and had a lot of doubts and thought that he wasn't up for it.
Yeah.
And then gave it to the museum and had to go through this arc of being like, well, no, you know, like the world does need a symbol, and they need this symbol to change. The symbol needs to represent something else, and I can be that, you know, something else.
Yeah.
So, and I really like that, and it did seem accurate. Like I had to have that little twist of like, okay, but like time has passed since Endgame,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he
6
said
months.
to think about it. Yeah. It's also versus like, basically it's him having that thought process at the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier and being like, no, I can't, no way I can take up this mantle. And he does have that conversation with Elijah Bradley, and I kind of felt like you did, but he has a line later that's like with his sister, and he's like, yeah, you know, if I had gone through what Elijah Bradley had gone through, I probably would feel the same. But he kind of makes it clear that like, if I'm going to take on this symbol, then I'm going to make it something of my own.
Did anybody else think that like right after that scene with Sarah where he's like, no, I'm gonna fight this, and then it like does his like montage? Was anybody else thinking like, this is fucking Rocky?
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
yes. I was expecting that, or like Nike, just do it underneath. Like,
it was very much like a commercial,
something like that.
Dude, when he's doing those like flips and shit, did you guys think? I couldn't help but think, I was like, is this actually Anthony Mackie? Do you think he like?
Yeah, no,
Not
it
a
wasn't.
chance.
It wasn't.
No.
I slowed it down. It was somebody. It was a stunt double.
You don't think it was Anthony Mackie, man? I was
no.
because it kind of looks a little, I just didn't expect it, so it looked a little jarring at first. I was like, damn, Anthony. And I was like, that's not him. I was like, there's no way.
I was also thinking, I was like, we got to do a little bit more to like motivate those flips.
Yeah,
Jesus
it's kind of like out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere. It's like, cool.
Like a hot rod.
I'm
yelling
glad
and
you can
screaming
do
in the
that, man.
woods.
I was like, he goes from flying to being really into parkour. I was like, damn.
Is that not what you do, Dylan? Is that not like...
I shit. I mean, I probably
He
would
needed
if I
to
had
ground
wings.
himself, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Dylan goes on plane rides, and then as soon as he gets out, he just starts doing flips.
You have
And
no idea, John. I'd be
Every
a
time.
fucking gymnast after I get off a plane, dude. So
he's like New York, Houston, and then I'm gonna do a cartwheel as soon as I get to Houston.
So with him accepting like his role, what did you guys think about his suit? Because
I loved it. I
You
love
loved it?
that suit, dude. I love it.
What about you, Tanner? Did you love it too?
I did. I actually really liked it. And then Molly was like, I don't like it. And that kind of like changed my opinion. I was like, I'm going to look at this again. I was like, No, dude, I like it. I think it's something he would rock. Like I think that's just, and like a suit doesn't always. I don't know. Like
Matter.
sometimes and like I don't know. Like sometimes when you wear like your favorite outfit that makes you feel good, like not everybody's gonna like it, you know.
Mhm.
So
What
like,
about
that's
you?
his outfit.
What about you, Gabe? What did you think about it?
I really like it. I think I really like what they're going for. That the fact it's more of he seems more of a peacekeeper than like
Yeah.
Captain America. Like I'm going to go out and fight Thanos. That's what I got from it. Like he descended down carrying Carly, and he looked like an angel, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or like how like that like angelic appeal to me. I guess I really liked it.
I'm
Guys,
glad they weren't afraid to go like accurate.
guys, I didn't like it. I don't know.
Why did you not like it? What did you not like about
okay,
it?
so here's my thing. Is I don't not like it. I think it looks good. I just think it looks really cheesy. Like I was like, I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's my thing with it. When he's flying, when he has his wings out, I think it looks really good. Like when he like when what Gabe's talking about, like when he looks angelic and he's like bringing Carly down. I was like, damn, this shit it's literally going to be the thumbnail of this video. I was like, it looks really good when he has his wings out. And I think it's because his wings have like red accents on the top. The suit for me needs more like red. I get the
Disagree.
in the way that it like
Wow.
goes up to his head. I just thought it kind of fit weird and looked a little cheesy. And I understand like the narrative significance of having like white be a prominent color on his suit because it's like the contrast of like John Walker and like white is the purity on the American flag. So it's like, you know, it's basically actually Captain America or whatever. I get the narrative significance, but I just like, it kind of felt like to me, like this was Cap's suit from the first Avenger, like Steve's suit from the first Avenger, or not from first Avenger, from the first Avengers, like the first Avengers movie. Where it's like, yeah,
I
it's
disagree
good.
so hard.
It's like, yeah, it's good, but I hope in the next one it's better. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I'd say if I had one issue with it, I was like, maybe his shoulders are a little bit too big. But other than that, I loved it. I thought it was perfect. Probably one of my favorite MCU suits that I've ever seen. I thought the cowl was gonna be weird, but I saw that they like perfectly shaped it around his face because it makes me think back to like Ben Affleck's cowl as Batman, and his cowl is like it makes him look a little chubby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just I think the reason for the
Be
it
careful
pushes in
with
his
how you
face a
speak.
little
That's
bit
my
too
favorite
much,
Batman.
and it's all just to accent his. No, I love that Batman. It's just his cowl is a little bit. He just looks a little.
It looks like it's
right
like just
there.
a little too small on him, so he's like squeezed into it.
Yeah, so seeing the Falcon
Dylan.
and Winter Soldier cowl, I was like, damn, that is good. That is a gorgeous suit. Ooh.
Yeah. I think I realized what weirded me out about the suit, and it's definitely because it looks very similar, but it also the same thing with like his original Falcon suit. It looks very similar to the guy off of The Boys. Do you know who I'm talking about?
The running
fast
dude,
one?
the fast one.
Yeah, the running dude.
I haven't seen it, but I know who you're talking about because I've seen that first scene.
Their
What do
How
you
suits
have you
are
not seen the boys?
very
What the heck?
similar.
How do you not see the?
Just not in color.
Well,
Yeah,
It's
that's
A
weird.
Train, by the way.
yeah,
I was
A
muted.
Train. Okay.
yeah, good. We'll talk about that later, Dylan. That's great.
I don't know why I haven't
Scold
seen
you
The
for that
Boys, man.
later.
It's really a show that I should watch. I'm probably gonna watch like the first two seasons in anticipation for the third, and then we'll maybe do a show on it or something. But like,
It's a
I
good
don't know
show.
why I haven't watched it yet. I just
But yeah.
haven't gotten around.
All right, to go back to what you said though, Dylan, the John Walker picture his costume has like no white on it whatsoever.
Literally,
know.
like he just has the red and blue stripes, and I
And
think
then he just has like the little white Captain America symbol at the top, and that's it.
and like maybe on that little A, like it, but it's like silver. It's not even white.
Yeah.
So like I get it. It's narrative significance. Like John
Yeah.
Walker has no purity or whatever on his suit, so it's like a reflection of the character. And like Sam has all of it because he is. Captain
Also,
America.
Dylan, I just want you to keep in mind, putting the American flag on a costume is extremely difficult. Like
Yeah.
to do that without making it look so cheesy.
I think
It's so hard.
they've done it so well though. Like I mean, I think Cap in Age of Ultron, or I keep calling him Cap. I guess that would be Steve in Age of Ultron. Like that costume's badass, bro. Like that's
My
yeah.
favorite Cap costume has to be, aside from Sam's, is probably the Endgame costume.
I really liked it.
Oh,
I
with
really
the
like that they
scales?
did the
Yeah.
scales on that.
the
Yeah.
scales were different.
yeah, that was dope. All right. Well, we'll move on from costumes. What did you guys think about like Bucky's internal struggle? Like he goes from not being able to speak to Yuri to like it seems like he gets some sort of closure for his. He gets some
His
sort of closure
wrongdoing.
for his like PTSD issues that
Yeah,
he's
his
suffering.
guilt.
They're not gone, but it's like it's really well handled. I think. What did you think, Gabe?
I think it was kind of rushed at the end. At
Oh
least
my God, preaching to the fucking choir.
his I thought it was rushed at the end with the with his confession to what was it, Yuri?
Yuri, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was very rushed. I feel like it fleshed out his growth since Winter Soldier in like the first half of the season. I feel like he was just thrown on the back burner for the rest of the time. Like he was kind of like his struggles, at least he was still like there to support Sam, but like his I don't know. This whole thing was just about Sam becoming Captain America and Bucky healing, and I feel like the healing portion was more towards the first half to
Yeah.
2/3. I feel like
It's weird because they I feel like they set this up like this premise that like Bucky is going to have to confront Yuri. They literally set that up in the first episode.
yeah,
And then we get to the end of the series, and don't get me wrong, the scene was fantastic. I mean, Sebastian Stan acts the shit out of that scene. Like
Oh, yeah.
like when he swallows the word when he's like has to say that the Winter Soldier was me, and he's like, and that is like me. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's like, you can just see it's like tearing
it
him up on
hurts
the
him to
inside.
say it. Yeah,
But my problem is I wanted to see what happens after that. Like
yeah,
I get the narrative significance. I understand that we don't need to see what happens after that because it's just to show us that Bucky has grown. But like you
right.
build it up, and then I would like to see how Yuri reacts instead of just Bucky walking out of the apartment. Like if a
Yeah,
dude tells you he killed your son, like what is the next step?
yeah. And then the next thing he does is he goes and gets shots with the hot chick at the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I was like, we get this amazing, fantastic scene with Isaiah and Sam at the Smithsonian. And then Bucky gets like a 2-minute scene with Yuri telling him like, it just felt like, I don't know. I felt like he got the closure he needed, but maybe I didn't get some of the closure I needed. And I say all this while I say all this while like sobbing at the scene the second time I watched it. Like, dude, I was literally in tears, like hearing this man just be like, "It was me." Like, dude, I was a mess, but I felt like he got the short end of the stick there, kind of. Like, I
Just
liked
know,
it, but I wish
like
it was longer.
if you ask Dylan for like moral support, he's not gonna be satisfied until he's felt moral support.
Until I feel better. What are we actually here for, anyway? How about you, Tanner? What did you think about Bucky's journey?
I think it's just like you said, and like Gabe said, it just kind of got put on the side. Like I feel like Sam's is definitely a more important story, but I feel like Bucky was just kind of like, okay, we'll talk about it first episode, a little bit in the second episode, and then we'll bring it up at the end. For now, he's just cool guy with metal arm. Like,
yeah,
And I mean, it's more set up too, because that scene in episode 5 where he's with Sam, and Sam is like, you're just avenging for these people. You're not like offering yourself up for
Yeah.
service. I was like, okay, so we're gonna see him offer some service to Yuri,
go
and
actually.
then the scene ends after he just tells him he murdered his son. I was like, it's like, bro, what? How did you do you have a contrasting argument to that, Jonathan? You kind of feel the same way.
Well,
No, I mean, I agree. I agree for the most part with what you're saying. I mean, that Yuri scene, especially like what you said about that, like I do agree with that. I wanted to see it too. But I understand, like I get it. Like I get why we didn't see it. I could understand creatively maybe why we didn't see it. It just feels like we got a lot more Bucky story to tell. Like we've told some of it, but it feels like we need some more. And Marvel has announced some future projects where maybe we can do that. But
That's kind of how I'm feeling too. It's like when this show ended, I thought it was going to be, I was telling Gabe about this. I was like, when this show ends, I think they're going to rename it Captain America and the White Wolf.
yeah.
instead of, but it ends and then it flashes Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And then I was thinking, I was like, okay, so maybe, this season was Sam centric. Like Bucky was in the show and there were scenes without Sam in them, and Bucky does definitely have an arc, but this is like, it was more about Sam accepting that he's going to try and fight to be Captain America. Right. And I was thinking maybe the next season, I was questioning whether or not it would undercut the first season to have it more Bucky centric and do like his journey into becoming the White Wolf. Does that make sense?
I think he's going to keep his Winter Soldier name.
I don't think so,
and
bro.
I think he is. And then not only that, like they just announced like Captain America 4 is in the works. Like that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just say that like that title card confused the hell out of me because it was the title card, and then I thought like, oh, this is taking place during Captain America and Winter Soldier. This is whenever this hearing is happening, and it took me a couple of seconds to realize my dumb monkey brain.
I just want y'all to know that I watched this episode with Gabe, and he cut it off before the end credit scene. And
Gabe,
as a Marvel fan, I'm just.
I didn't see the post-credit scene for episode 5.
Yeah,
I
there
found
were
that out on Instagram.
very few post-credit scenes this
No,
season.
dude, there were post-credit scenes for the last 3. That's what they always do.
Dude, what was funny to me?
Yeah, always do. We had WandaVision.
You said, dude, Tanner, that post-credit scene for episode 5 is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Dude, I've seen people put like the Home Depot like audio over it, where he's just like clanking.
I hate it. The slow-mo zoom in. It's just, that was cheesy. You're gonna call Sam's outfit cheesy? That was cheesy.
So funny, dude. And then I love that. Sure. I love that, like, in the beginning of this episode, like, as soon as he uses the shield, the first hit that it takes just goes straight through the shield.
Breaks. Oh, my gosh.
He's just using it as a bludgeon towards the end of it. Like, it was a hunk of metal.
So, John, do you not think that you don't think Bucky's going to become the White Wolf? Because in the comics,
not at all.
In the comics, the White Wolf storyline is super, like, forgettable. It's about, like, this kid who falls into Wakanda and then, like, they raise him and they're like, well.
and I like it. I think, but I think Marvel is always going to keep it as that one-off line of, oh, and this is White Wolf. That's it. That's all we're ever going to get of it. It wouldn't surprise me if Marvel made the decision to do that. But from basic Marvel experience that I've seen, I don't think Kevin Feige would make a decision like that.
Come on, though. Like imagine the suit. Like where he like it's basically like Black Panther suit, but like pure white.
It'd be cool. It would be really cool. But like this brings me back to like the Mephisto theories, where it's like that would be cool, but like based on Marvel experience, probably not.
But they're not name dropping Mephisto. Like they didn't say Mephisto that entire show. We just went.
They only
crazy.
said White Wolf once, though. Well, twice.
They've said it like 3 times.
Twice. I don't know. I don't think that's enough to like.
Yeah, maybe
this is
not.
where he's going.
Maybe not. What about Gabe? You seem like you might have an objection to that. What do you think?
No,
yeah. Speak up, Gabe.
Do you think it's gonna go White Wolf, or do you think they're gonna just leave it a Winter Soldier?
I don't think it really matters which way they go with it. It's still going to be Bucky.
I don't know,
is that a cop out? But like that's how I truly feel about it. If he stays Winter Soldier, then that means he's accepted that he is the Winter Soldier. That like he needs to continue to be the Winter Soldier in order to like atone for all the misgivings he's done. Or he changes. He's in the like little cocoon right now, and he blossoms as the beautiful White Wolf.
See, but that's my main problem with it is like, so he's running around with the name the Winter Soldier, and the name the Winter Soldier is attached to 70 kills across like 70 years of history.
But so he can change that.
He can change.
He can change that, bro.
He can.
He's gonna. He's gonna save 70 people.
Let me say, like, Dylan, I completely understand why you want that. I completely get it. I just don't think that Marvel would do it.
I don't know. It's like the Ray Skywalker thing where everybody's like, "Well, why wasn't she just named Palpatine?" It's like being named like Ray Hitler. So it's like why on earth would you not change your name? Like they can't keep calling him the Winter Soldier when that's like connected to several murders.
He'll just be called the Buck, and
The Buck.
he'll wear antlers on his head.
He becomes Battlestar.
Well, but also Dylan, I think he's just like Gabe said. He's accepting that name, and you see that at the end of the episode, Falcon calls himself Captain America, and literally the scene that you liked the most out of Bucky's scene was him saying that he was the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So he says he's a Winter Soldier,
But he says, and that was me. Right? That's the line.
Yeah, you're fair out there. Yeah, it's a good
Does
defense.
does he say, and that's me? Or does he say, and that was me?
And that was me, I think.
No, he definitely says, and that's me. Hold on. That's actually a good point.
And
Hold on, guys, let's take 50 minutes to rewatch the episode.
The whole thing.
Pull up the scene. Bucky.
I got to see of this, bro.
Pull this shit up right. It sounds familiar now you're saying that was me, but for some reason I don't feel like he said that many words.
It's the Mandela effect, bro.
White Wolf killed him, and that was me. We totally remembered it wrong.
It's that, and that was me.
I got it. I got the scene.
What did he say?
He was murdered.
It's saying Yanny, bro.
Okay, wait.
It's Yanny.
By a Winter Soldier.
Damn, that audio is crystal clear though.
And that was me.
That was me.
That was me.
That's what I'm saying. He's not the Winter Soldier anymore. He can't walk around with his he's not like, hey, I'm Bucky Hitler. I killed 70 people, significant people.
Like, you remember Iron Man? Yeah, he's orphaned by me.
Dude,
look, we're getting another Captain America movie soon. We'll see what they decide to do.
I heard about that shit. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little later on when we talk about what comes next.
For sure.
So you guys all unanimously agree that maybe the scene was cut short, but narratively it doesn't make sense. Narratively you understand. Do you guys narratively understand why, or do you think that maybe there was more there?
I feel
narratively, I understand why.
Go ahead. What did you say, Gabe?
That's where the 9 episodes were going, where he wanted more to work with.
Yeah,
I forgot the director's name, but
Malcolm Spellman.
There we go.
I don't know. I really, really liked it, but I just felt it could have just been just a little bit longer. And him in that but I did like that him. I like that he's kind of a contrast to John Walker. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. John Walker is the war veteran who came back and was honored for the shit that he did. And he admits to Lamar, he's like, the shit we did over there was not medal worthy. Neither of us feel good about that. And then Bucky is over here with no medals except his arm, I guess.
Yeah.
He does have that great line. That great line with Carly where she's like, you never fought for anything bigger than yourself. And he's like, I did. And I failed twice.
What is he? Did anybody else not understand what the fuck he was talking about?
Yeah, I had no idea.
I was like,
he heard Infinity War. And
So he died in World War II.
Yes,
and
I got that one.
He failed to save humanity in Infinity War.
But he came back.
Okay.
I thought he was talking about Hydra. I was like, he failed Hydra? Because he was like...
Yeah, maybe whenever Zemo brainwashed him.
No. He's definitely talking about Infinity War.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I guess. I
have that confirmed by 3.
What do you mean you guess? I guess it was talking about one of the biggest movies in the franchise where they all failed.
If you go away for 5 minutes and then come back and fight the biggest battle in the galaxy.
No, Dylan, I'm sorry, but if you're fighting something and you say you're fighting Gabe to save me and Tanner, right? Yeah. You lose the fight and me and Tanner are gone, right? We can come back in 5 years, but you did lose that fight.
But that's not Bucky though. You would be Bucky. So you haven't lost shit. You just died and came back and then fought the battle again. But I lost. Steve and them and Iron Man and them, they lost. But Bucky didn't lose. He just
think about it this way. So Bucky failed the first time during World War II, and Cap brought him back. Steve brought him back, right? Yeah. He failed again to stop Infinity War.
Hydra.
And Steve brought him back again.
I think he failed Hydra.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Dylan's like, how dare he fail the Nazis? God darn it, man. You failed America, then you failed the Nazis. Choose one.
Why would he care about failing them? Also, he definitely didn't fail them. He was pretty damn good at his job. Everybody else failed him.
He was pretty good at his job.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Guys,
everybody else was not doing their part.
I don't care what anyone says. Bucky was the shittiest Winter Soldier ever. If you look at his track record, he can only win against regular people. I love Bucky, but every time he
also said
fights
a
a
fight
super
back then.
soldier,
Wait,
he loses.
he's a freaking assassin. You know, that's
Dude.
all he has to.
And also, it was back then. He didn't fail as a Winter Soldier back then. Was there super soldiers back then fighting him?
Yes, there was. He literally lost
Yeah,
to
there
Isaiah.
was. Civil
There
War.
was.
Oh, okay.
So he loses to Isaiah, and Isaiah says, and I ripped your arm off too, lol. And I was like, okay, so he got trashed by Isaiah, and then he comes forward in time 14 years and fights someone who's not a regular human.
Do you
and
have
loses
this
to-
written on notes? Like, are you reading?
No, I've seen it
all
40
the fucking times that he failed. He failed. He failed here. It's like,
I've seen
At
it 40
minute
times. I
59.
think about this shit all day. And then he comes
Sure.
back in
This
2014
is
and
mind
then loses
palace.
to Cap. And then he loses to Iron Man in 2016. And then he loses to Thanos. And then he fucking like, dude, he fails.
So you
every
admit
time.
that he loses to Thanos, huh?
And then he whatever.
You admit that he
and then he
failed
gets
that?
and then he gets mopped. He gets absolutely mopped by the new flag.
Oh
commander.
yeah.
oh,
And then
Oh,
John
yeah.
Walker beats him, which is total BS. I was like, there's no way.
when did John Walker beat him?
Dude, if it was Bucky and John Walker alone and Falcon wasn't there, Bucky would have gotten crushed.
Maybe, but I mean, you can
But he
even
has the shield,
you,
bro.
you can look back at John Walker's like track record. Like it kind of.
Oh, come on.
I don't know.
Compared
As
to
a regular
70
person, though.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I
yeah,
will.
and
I will
even-
say they needed to up the ante on Bucky's fights a little bit. I will say. that.
Yo, yeah.
Even in Civil War, when we flash back to the 90s or whatever, after
Yeah,
he
no,
gets-
that's what I was talking about.
he
Yeah,
loses
and he,
to
like,
those
all these
guys
super-
too.
Yeah.
They
But those
mop
guys
the
are
floor
supposed
with
to
him.
topple countries. Like those are the cream of the fucking crop.
Anyone who's not a regular human being, Bucky just gets fucking mauled over, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
can you give my boy some credit? He's an assassin that always loses. I don't know. Let's talk about John
Not
Walker.
against Yuri's son.
All right.
How did you guys feel about John Walker? Because I thought that his
My favorite part of the
turnaround
whole
at
show.
the end was interesting. So what did you think about it, Gabe?
Let's go to somebody else. You caught me while I was vaping and it fucked me
No,
up.
it's okay.
Hold
Go
up.
ahead.
Proof that vaping kills podcasts.
He's coming down.
It
Yeah,
does.
vaping
a
kills
health warning.
the show.
Vaping kills the show. Go to somebody else.
Okay. All
Right
right.
now,
Well, then
yeah.
I guess Tanner. What did you think about? How did you feel about John Walker?
Like about the character itself, like as a whole, right?
Like and his journey, kind of where he ends up.
I thought it was like one of the coolest things that I've seen out of Marvel so far. Like an interesting villain. Like I don't know. He was so good. I think he's the best actor in that show, and I really do. And I had no idea he was Kurt Russell's son.
Villain. You
Like,
think? So
that
you
is
think he
awesome.
was? So you think he's like? You think he's a villain?
Obviously not anymore, but I think he's set up to be kind of a villain, like a villain,
Anti-hero.
a villain to the characters, probably an anti-hero to the rest of the world. But like he's like definitely the antagonist to
Yeah.
Bucky and Falcon, at least in the beginning. Like he's like an obstacle, but he's
Yeah.
not really like bad. And all the stuff that he does is like heavily motivated, so it's really hard to hate him. But it's just, I think it's how a lot of real people would deal with being a hero, as opposed to these
Yeah.
characters that we see in Marvel movies. I feel like he's a more like realistic sense of what would happen if you actually had to take on this, especially with him being like unsuperpowered in the beginning, and how hard that must be.
Did you guys
And
notice?
almost like
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was done.
Okay. Did you guys notice that everything that he's sorry? What do you want me to say? Like, you want me to just be silent?
You gave the 5-second pauses for the cut.
But 5-second pause, please. We need to take a minute and understand, Tanner. If you cut me off again, we're gonna have a serious issue. No, but seriously,
Yo, if there's no pauses,
He's typing
if
in
there's
the
no
chat
pauses
to
in the
me
YouTube
privately.
video, you need to. If there's no pauses in a YouTube video, you need to know Dylan is cutting
Tanner, I
everything
will
out.
not have you on the show again.
If you interrupt me one more time.
Bro, did you guys notice how everything that John Walker is like everything that supports him is like African American?
What do you mean?
What?
So this dude's wife is African American. And then
Sure.
his best friend is
Well, she-
African American. He says
Sure.
that he went to an African American college, And then he says, and then
Did he
Sam
say that?
What is that?
When did he say that?
Did he?
Yeah, he mentions the college they mentioned the college he went to when he was doing the news interview, and it's like a predominantly African American school.
What college is it?
I can't remember. I haven't watched it, but I just remember seeing that on like a wiki thing. So then Sam, an African American, is the one to give him like, or involuntarily give him the shield. Did you guys think that was interesting, or am I reading way too much into it?
I don't
I
think
you're reading way too much
Are you
into
sure?
it.
Really?
You think he is? I don't know. Maybe they didn't mean to do it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But when you were mentioning
That
the
might be-
suits earlier,
yeah.
about like how Sam has all the white and John Walker has all the black, I wasn't thinking just like narratively from like a color spectrum, but like from like white and black, like the racial issue as well. Like I thought
Oh,
that
I
was maybe
see.
a little interesting.
I say yeah.
I don't understand what they're saying with it.
And
but
then his new suit is black too. So
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying.
like black and red.
I
Dude,
know that's
he
just
looked like
because of the
such a little
comics.
kid in that scene.
You do
Like
kinda-
at the end scene, like whenever he got his new suit and he was talking to the what's her name?
Contessa Valentina.
Yeah, the Hydra lady. And like he just looked so happy. He was just like, I'm able to do something. Yeah, okay,
It's
I'm
the
Captain
same,
America again.
But black.
U.S. agent. U.S. agent. It's the same, but black. Like, yeah.
I think he is out for good. Like he really does want to help, but he just doesn't
yeah.
have. The
He wants
gumption.
to help, but I think it's going to be kind of a Punisher thing where he takes it a little bit too far. Like
Yeah.
Fair enough.
he cut a man in half, y'all. He really.
I don't know. I think it's he really wants to do good, but he just gets flustered. It seems like so easily with the super soldier serum now.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Captain America and Hulk blended.
The moment where he takes he has the choice to go after Carly or save like the truck full of people.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
I really like
What did you
that.
guys think?
Yeah.
Did you guys think he was going to go after Carly? Because I low key really did.
I thought he was going to do that, and then Sam was going to have to save the bus.
He still has that sense of morality in him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense that he chose the people. I mean, he's just – I really agree with what Tanner said, that he's like, what happens when a normal person is given a costume and super soldier serum? Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's got like a serious temper. He's got some PTSD, and it makes
Power
him
trip. at the same
kind of
time.
unstable. Yeah, and he's got a power trip. So, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what you get as U.S. agent.
Did you
They
guys
weren't
think?
even super powered.
Oh yeah, dude, that moment
It's
was
like-
so good.
Yeah.
Where he like, takes it down to himself after the what is it, Dormelage? Is that the
Yeah, after the
Wakandan
Dormelage
Oh,
beat
it
the
was like
fuck
they weren't
out of
even
him,
super
and-
soldiers.
Yeah, he just takes a moment. He's like,
That's so
they weren't
sad,
even
actually.
super soldiers, dude. So depressing. I was like, did you guys notice how? Okay, so if you think about this, they have footage of him throwing the shield in like a field, like in the interview, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that means that literally the day after my boy Sam dropped off the shield, they gave it to a different dude. Like they didn't hesitate. They were like, okay, well, we put it in the case. Now take it out and give it to John so he can practice with it. So it's like, dude.
Yeah.
For real.
Now remember, John, you one day can grow up to be a full-fledged superhero and wear this shield.
You guys really think I'm stretching with the whole like everything that his like foundation is built on is like African American? Like African Americans?
I don't know, man.
I think
people are people, you know. I don't know.
It just seems like a
You know, it
conscious
wasn't-
decision to make his best friend black and his wife black, and then also make it like him go to a like black college.
I don't think so. I don't think
No?
so at all.
Okay, maybe I'm stretching.
No.
You guys
there's
are-
a very concealed series of coincidences, or
yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure it's just a coincidence, dude.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
it's
stretching.
like you don't think it's weird that like John, who's on this podcast, is like friends with 3 white guys? You don't think it's a little weird? I don't know. I'm going down there.
But if it was a podcast about like racial equality, then maybe it would be.
Yeah, it's a little weird then. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is, unfortunately.
It's hard to talk about this show and not like get into like the
Yeah.
deeper themes of like what it's trying to say.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think is next for him? What do you think they're gonna do with him next? Because clearly he becomes U.S. agent at the end. Which is what he is in the
I'm
comics.
thinking either Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers. I think is probably what they're going to do with him.
Yeah, interesting. What about you, Gabe? What do you think?
I think they're going to use him in the beginning of the next Avengers movie just to kill him off immediately.
Really?
That's what they do with fucking Crossbones.
Dude, okay,
Oh,
but
that
Crossbones
sucked. I
wasn't. I
hated
feel like
that.
Crossbones was never like significant enough. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Crossbones killed Captain America in the comics.
Well, we're not in the comics. Crossbones was a little punk bitch in the movies.
Oh,
That's fair enough.
Bro, do you guys ever think about how painful that dude's death was? My man chose to first of all blow himself up, and then once he blows himself up for about 5 seconds, Wanda's just controlling the fire, incinerating his body around him, and then she throws his ass into a building. I think about this all the time. I'm like, God, he died in the most horrific way possible. What about you, Tanner? What do you think they're gonna do with him next?
I don't like read enough comics and know enough about what could happen and like what else he's connected to. If this was just like a character like that I had, like if this was not based on comic books and he was just a character, I would say that he's just going to be a part of the next conflict, like with what's the lady that got him, Constantine?
yeah. In the comics, she is known as Lady Hydra.
Okay, so it's going to be an obstacle in the next movie. I don't really know what bigger things he could. I don't know what else. I think he definitely has a story arc back to being a regular person, but I don't know if it will do that.
Yeah, so I mentioned like he could join the Thunderbolts or the Dark Avengers. The Thunderbolts are kind of like Marvel's Suicide Squad. They're kind of just sent probably to be killed to do some darker shit that the Avengers wouldn't handle.
That's led by Ross, right? General Ross?
Yeah, as Red Hulk.
I can see that.
So you think that the Lady Hydra thing, she's directly connected to him then?
I'm wondering. I'm not sure yet. I'm wondering if that's where they're going. There are rumors that she's trying to start up a Dark Avengers, which would be cool to see, but I'm not sure. I mean, because we know right now the people locked up in the raft are Baron Zemo, Abomination, the Ghost.
Abomination.
Yeah, he's still in this world.
He's still alive, dude. Tim Roth is just sitting in his cell.
I hope he comes back. He's amazing, bro.
Oh, please.
He is. He's coming back in. They confirmed
Better-
he's coming
better
back in
CGI?
She-Hulk. Yeah, he's coming back in She-Hulk.
You're joking.
Yes.
He is
Oh
coming
my
back
god, with
to
better
She-Hulk.
CGI, he's gonna look sick, dude.
They give him that. They give him that better Hulk treatment.
And he is a great actor, bro. Oh my god.
He is a great actor. He's pretty good.
I was thinking that's a good point that I hadn't really thought about, John. Because so apparently, Marvel announced, like, remember how when Episode 5 was coming out, they were like, a secret cameo that is a big deal is coming out, and then it was Madame Hydra that showed up.
Yeah.
So apparently, the reason that was such a big deal was because she was originally supposed to be in Black Widow.
Yeah.
We were supposed to see her first there.
Right.
So yeah, and we know from the trailers that Ross is in Black Widow. So maybe there is that connection there. I didn't even
That
think
makes a lot
about
of
that.
sense then, actually.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the end of Baron Zemo, so I assume they want to do that.
Nah,
So-
if they wanted him to be gone, they would have killed him. He's going to be.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
My
He just saw
thinking,
Chapo his way out.
so you're talking about
Marvel loves
Zemo.
killing their villains. So.
You're talking about
Yeah.
Zemo, and my thinking was, I was like, okay, so if they're going to do She-Hulk, and Abomination is going to be in it, and Abomination needs to get out, so it can be like a Hulk and She-Hulk versus Abomination type situation.
Ooh, yeah.
What if Abomination breaks out, like when he like loses his shit and breaks out of the raft? What if it's like that's how Zemo gets out again?
That'd be interesting.
They're gonna get out together, bro. There's gonna be another villain that sneaks in there, and they help Zemo break everybody out.
So does Abomination have the same things as the Hulk?
So
he
in
does.
the comics, he doesn't change back to human though, right? He's just constantly Abomination, right?
He's constantly Abomination. But
Oh,
he
that's what
gets-
I meant. He's
Yeah,
constantly Abomination.
He gets to keep his speech and stuff. He gets to be
Yeah.
smart. But now Hulk
he
gets
doesn't
to
ever
do
go
that
back
too.
to Tim
so-
Roth. He's just big CGI monster forever.
Lame, dude. They better have him voice it.
he's confirmed
But it's
to be
gonna
in
be
it.
garbled
Oh, okay.
though.
Yeah, they're gonna
Tim
bring him
Roth
back.
was always like if y'all want me back, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah.
Tim Roth was like game for it. So.
Ooh, that scene where they put the needle in his spine.
Oh.
I can't.
Remember the
stand
scene where he gets kicked into a tree? I always like that one the most. He just rolls into the
it.
tree.
It's like one of the funniest scenes in the MCU. I don't care what anybody says. When he's like, "Is that the best you can do?" and then he just decks him with his foot, dude.
It's hilarious.
Funny, bro. How do you guys feel about Carly?
I always
I thought she was very naive. I'll leave it. But I thought it was a very naive character. It was a lot more complicated than I feel like the writers either intended or they did not convey enough.
Yeah.
It felt like she was there in service of the Falcon character,
Yeah.
I really,
which is fine.
I don't know what it was.
That is okay.
Was it just me that really didn't feel different when she died? Like Sharon shot her, and I was like,
No,
I was
you're not alone.
She died.
Forgot.
you didn't even remember she died.
What? Wait, did she? What do you mean she died though? Wait, what?
Sharon shot her, bro.
Sharon Carter.
Oh my God, we're talking about Carly. We're not talking
Yeah.
about the freaking. Oh, I thought we were talking about what's the blonde girl?
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter. I thought we were talking about Sharon. So I was like,
Yeah.
she did not die. She was in the post.
Yeah, she got shot. That was heaven, bro.
Yeah, no, okay. Okay. Yes, Carly.
I don't know. I kind of wish there was. So they seemed like they were setting up like maybe her flag smashers would turn against her, and I kind of wish they like did that because I was like,
It would have been interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
it was one of those, and Marvel has a tendency to do this where the antagonist exists solely to be an obstacle for the protagonist.
yeah,
And you can do that. You
Yep.
can do that. Like, you can take a college writing class and be like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. But for comic book movies, we're always like, we're more into those villains that are either just iconically scary or have really, really good motivation and can stand on their own.
That being said, though, that scene with her and Sam, like in the church,
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
really
That was
good.
great. It was a great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the scene that sold me on him. I was kind of feeling iffy on him being Captain America. And then like that scene happened, and I was like, no, like he's Captain America. Like that's it. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you're kind of feeling the same way, Gabe. She's just kind of, you feel she's just there to service Sam, basically.
Yeah, she's there to service the plot.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know if I like her motivation. Like I like how they deal with like there's still problems from I like how in WandaVision and this one they deal with like problems that happened in the blip, not just like stuff that has like they didn't just like forget about it. Like I guess I'm in Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, that's a good
They're not
point.
like forgetting about the blip, and she has good motivations. But I feel like I feel like almost like with Bucky, like they started it really cool, but then they just kept her one note the whole time. I feel like every like thing after like episode 3, she was just like, "Yeah, I might be a villain, yeah."
Supposedly there was supposed to be like in the iconic 9-episode world that could exist that the showrunner was talking about. He was saying that there would have been like another Carly-centric episode that would have explained some more of like how she got into the Flag Smashers and how like somebody that lady that died, she went to her funeral. Like apparently that
Mama
episode
Tanya.
was gonna like set her up a little bit more
Yeah,
because she is a character in the comics. I'm not sure who she is. I didn't read up on her specifically.
she's fantastic setup though for Sam's speech at the end.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
She's
Yeah,
definitely the
for sure.
catalyst for that, and I thought that was really well done. Like
Yeah.
yeah. How did
That
you
that
guys-
also was another thing that was like, man, that's Captain America right there.
Yeah.
That's
It's Captain America. I didn't like. I don't know what it was. I wasn't quite ready for Sam to walk away and Bucky to be like, "Nice job, Cap." I don't. I wasn't. I wasn't quite there
I was
yet.
all for it.
I was like, yeah.
I understand
was
he's
all for
Captain
it.
America, but I was like,
Yeah.
come on, this is day one.
I think it's
Let's ease us in.
Dylan, you just really miss Steve.
I miss Stucky, bro. I love Stucky.
That's all it is.
So
Stucky was great, man. We love Stucky. It's just it's time to move on.
But now it's just sucky, bro.
Sucky.
yeah, Gabe brought this up earlier. Sucky. Gabe brought this up earlier. Sharon is the power broker. Are we sure about that? I really don't think she is.
Oh, dude, man, that was
Yeah.
my least favorite thing about the show.
That's what I'm saying. Is
That was
like
my
she
least
is.
favorite thing about the show.
I don't think she is. Guys, listen, here's my reasoning for why so Carly, first of all, Carly's the one who says, like, you're the power broker. But is she though? I was just thinking
They
I was
were
like,
hinting at it though.
every
She was
time-
like, "What do you do here?" And he's like, "Oh, I sell like very expensive pieces of art."
but see, here's the thing with it is Zemo knows who the power broker is, and then he
doesn't though.
But he
No, he
he literally says
He doesn't.
He refers to him,
No,
doesn't he?
he says.
I think
he says
everybody
that-
thinks it's a he.
He just knows that the power broker is in control of Madripoor, but that's all he knows.
Man, I don't
I
know.
think they would
Okay,
just assume that it was
either
Eve,
way,
'cause it's just-
either way, every time
Why,
something.
why would she go to the whole Congress Assembly, walk out, and say, "Yeah, I'll be able to sell tech over here too"?
But that's what I'm trying to say is every time something goes wrong or right for her, she calls somebody. She literally gets on the phone with somebody and is like, "Hey, da 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 da."
It's Ted, her assistant.
I
bro.
imagine she has a team. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you're the
oh,
person
no,
who's
she's
calling,
calling
you
the
have to
That's
Fisto.
call.
fine, but she's and then after. So this is the part that I
Look.
think is dumb as rocks. If she's the power broker, first of
Okay.
all, she has an asset in Dr. Nagel, the dude who makes the serum.
sure,
She
yeah,
knows that Zemo hates super soldiers. And then she
Right.
have to lead this on this whole trail where she takes them through this club and makes it feel like, oh no, it's not actually me that's the power broker. She leads them to Nagel, and she knows Zemo will probably kill Nagel because if you have common sense, you could tell that's going to happen. She leads him to her main source of her profit, and then lets him kill her.
Well,
kill the dude.
that's not exactly what happens, because first they meet with when they're dressed as like Smiling Tiger and stuff, and they go meet with that one lady. She's the one who gives Zemo the information about Nagel, and then they go get. So they're getting it from Zemo, and then they go get it. But they had to talk to one person who got
No,
shot.
she learns from the lady. All they learn from the lady is that all they learn is that there is a Dr. Nagel, and then the lady's like, but I'm not. That's all I'm going to tell you unless you offer up some more goods. And then Sarah calls, and then Sharon goes out of her way to make it look like she doesn't know where the doctor is, just to take them to her main source of profit in the doctor when she knows Zemo.
Look, no matter what, that power broker storyline did not work. Like, it did not work.
No, it's very.
I would love to
I'm
fix
not
it too.
convinced
I would love to say this is not.
I'm just saying I'm not
think it's
convinced.
just an introduction.
I'm not convinced that she's the power broker when like Zemo kills Dr. Nagel, and then she gets in the car, she calls somebody and goes, "We have two huge problems." Who the fuck is she talking to if she's the leader of the gang? Like, why do you have to tell somebody we have a problem?
Dude, that's such like villain talk all the time though.
But
Like all the time.
But narratively, the same thing could be serviced by her going.
Look, you know,
No, the
everything,
power
everything,
broker's a
everything that you're
council.
saying is a weak thread that can be pulled out, and you are absolutely right. But it happened, and she is the power broker.
You're just
And-
convinced by the bad writing.
You're just
I'm
you're just
willing to bet against
the writing. The writing is bad, but it's just bad. Like that's all it is.
It's not bad
I
with-
really don't agree.
It
She
is.
doesn't confirm when Carly says you're the power broker. She says nothing, and then Batroc goes you're the power broker, and she shoots him. She never confirms whether or not she's the power broker.
She's the power broker, dude.
Dude, what?
I'm not convinced
100%
until I
she's
see a
the
little
power
bit more.
broker.
I need a little bit more.
I don't think you're
gosh.
satisfied with it, but I'm.
It's not me. It's not a. I mean, I've been
Yeah,
disappointed
she's the power
before,
broker.
and I can accept it just fine. But I don't think there's enough there to say 100% that she is, because
I
the
just
villain of
see
the
too
show
many
looks her dead in the
online
eyes and goes,
fans
"You're the
that
power
think it's not.
broker." Like, why? Why would that be all that it is? I don't know. And
I don't,
there's so many loose ends.
like the
There's
people
so many
watching this
holes.
video, like I'm gonna say that's Gabe. They don't know if that's Gabe. Like they don't know if he's on there, but yeah, that's Gabe. Sadly, disappointingly, that is Gabe.
That hurts.
I don't know, man. I'm not there. I'm sorry. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. There
I
Look,
wasn't.
forgot
it
the
is-
power broker
it's-
existed by that point. I was like,
Look, when the next
Yeah.
Captain America movie comes out and you see that she is in fact the power broker, we can continue to be disappointed about it.
Here's what I'm trying to say. There is too many plot holes in her plans.
There is, dude. That's a
But-
valid criticism.
But see, that would be the first time that something like that has happened in the MCU. Besides, like
The
maybe,
Mandarin.
but besides like a
Mandarin.
villain plan. But like sharing, they
She's a
go out
villain.
of their way to make us.
She's
like,
a villain,
make it clear
yeah.
that all right,
If she's the power broker now, she's a villain.
I don't know, man. I'm just not convinced.
I know you really don't want it to be true, but it is.
It's not that I have a. If she was the power broker, that's fine. But it just feels like there's too many holes in that.
I just feel at the moment like Kevin Feige could stand right in front of you and tell you, Dylan, that was the power broker.
I mean, if he said it, then it's
I
probably.
don't know, man. I don't know.
And then I would hug
wait,
him
so like,
and
hold on,
cry
give me your rundown of why you think she's not the power broker again?
and-
Because she was on the phone.
And they'd be like, Kevin,
She was
because
on the
narratively it
phone.
makes zero sense for her to be the power broker.
No, she's talking to
I
her
absolutely
assistant.
agree.
Ted.
But it's
Also, like nobody knows who she is, so it makes sense that she's on the phone a lot. Like, She probably doesn't do a
It's
lot
a-
of one-on-one.
It's like it's even a weak motivation. It's like, man, I don't
And
know.
then the
I
eyes,
know
the
you
eyes
were
that we
on your
see
own for
don't
8
look
years,
anything
but-
like hers. I'm just not convinced.
Why
I'm
does
not
that
convinced.
matter? They don't.
Not convinced.
That doesn't matter.
I guess. All right. Okay. How did? I don't know. Do you guys think there's going to be a season 2?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I could see there possibly being one, but probably not.
Mhm.
There's not because of the sequel that was announced.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure there will be.
I'm 100% sure there.
I talked
I'm
to
a-
Kevin.
I am
I'm not even
100% sure that
slightly
there will
convinced
not
that there
be.
won't be a season 2. And do you want to know why?
There will not be a season 2.
Because he wants to be Captain America. The White Wolf.
Well, let's see if this information changes your mind. So in the Emmys, when they submitted Falcon and Winter Soldier, you
Okay.
have 2 choices. You can
Okay.
choose limited series that is a drama, or you can choose series that is a drama. Now,
Uh huh.
when you want your show to win, you submit more of your
Yeah.
projects to that category, right?
Yeah. I
WandaVision
know.
was submitted for limited series. Falcon and Winter Soldier was submitted for drama series. If they wanted a big push and they wanted the Emmys and they were both limited series, they would send both of them to the limited series. So that way you have a higher chance of winning. However,
I think that when did they send in that though? When did they send that in?
they sent that in like less than 4 days ago. Like that's this week's news.
And are you allowed to send 2 things?
You were allowed to send as many as you want as long as you made the show and put it out there.
I do not think it will be.
I think what's going to happen is we're going to get our Captain America 4, and
Okay.
then they're going to do a season 2, and then we're going to get another Captain America movie or whatever they have planned after that. But I'm convinced that like the show, it just leaves so many things that could set it up for a movie, but the show feels like there is way more potential for a season 2 here than there ever was for another movie, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't know.
And them submitting it that way in the Emmys just makes me feel like certainly like we'll get the next movie with Sam. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. The trades are reporting it.
I think they set up a movie and maybe set up a season 2. I mean, they got the Elijah Bradley character. They really set that up. They set up some stuff with Sharon Carter. I don't know. I mean,
It felt more like a season finale than a prelude to something else.
Yeah.
Is that weird to say? It felt
like
more
you finished
like,
WandaVision.
okay, here are the next story arcs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You finish WandaVision, you feel like, okay, this is we're ready for Doctor Strange now. Or we're ready for Spider-Man 3.
We're ready for something else.
But this one felt like, okay, this is the end of the season. See you next year. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I felt.
Do you feel the same way, Tanner?
I don't know. I feel like the same with this and WandaVision. I felt like they both ended their stories, but then they were like, okay, here's this at the end. Don't forget that we have other shit coming up. Like if Sharon Carter wasn't in there, I'd be like, okay, that's just a limited series by itself. The fact that they put Sharon Carter at the end there is like, just like, okay, we're gonna do stuff. But if I had it my way, probably they'd do like the whatever Thunderbolts in the next movie. And then maybe the next season comes out is about Sharon Carter.
Maybe. I mean, what are they going to do with the title, though? I mean, are they going to change it to Captain America?
That's what I'm saying is like, so this show ends and it's like Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So I'd imagine that next season would be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And then hopefully if we get a good Bucky arc in there at the end of that season, they'll be like,
can you
They
just
can't
rename
name it that.
Can you just
They
rename
can't-
your show, though? Can you do that?
Can you submit it into the Emmys?
yeah, why the fuck
with
not?
titles?
You can name it Captain
But
America
no.
and the Winter Soldier. Captain America, the 2014 one is called Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're splitting hairs then.
I'm
there.
splitting hairs though, yeah.
Like,
Or here's what they could do. We could see Captain America 4, Bucky becomes the White Wolf, and then they rename
gonna
the
happen.
show
Not
Captain
gonna
America
happen.
and the White Wolf for season 2.
I just want you to know that me and Tanner are on one side and Dylan and Gabe are on the other. So
They live in fantasy land, and we live
They do
in-
live on Fantasyland.
All right, we'll see what
Tanner,
happens, boys.
I'm high-fiving you from this distance.
We will see what happens. I have no doubt in my mind. Or they could keep the name Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then they could just make Torres the Falcon.
Oh, I don't mind that. Either way, I am all for more Marvel content. I'm all for that, no matter what.
So Sam leaves the wings with him. Do you think that You think they're gonna do it? You think
100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
100%.
He left him the tech,
Yeah.
right?
He says,
Yeah, I
"Keep
mean,
it."
it'd be said not to, dude. There's not a Latino hero in the Marvel universe. In fact, for the longest time, the only Latino character in the Marvel universe was Luis from Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I mean, don't undercut Luis. That's a fantastic character.
he's wonderful. He's great. But like, for that to be the only one, that is not representative of what
Is
the
that
world
is
looks
that
like.
really true? Is that really true?
Yeah. I've looked it up. It's true.
Well, okay. I guess I'm watching all the TV shows too, so maybe that's why I didn't really. Because
Well, you got to also decide what's canon and what's not, because there's a lot of stuff that
If
isn't
you
canon
slander the
anymore.
Marvel TV shows right now and say they aren't canon,
Dude, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon. The Netflix shows are not canon.
oh my
okay?
god! Here, let me tell
Agent
you,
Carter is barely canon. Okay.
Agent Carter is directly connected to Agents of Shield. They are
Oh
one and the
my
same.
god.
And they're both canon, and so is Daredevil
No.
until proven otherwise.
Mm-mm.
You are incorrect.
Mm-mm.
The Darkhold is the
Mm-mm.
same book that it was in WandaVision.
No,
they
it
aren't
is.
connected.
Oh my
my
god. I could
my
have this
God.
argument with you all day, but
But
not for this.
We'll
one,
get
not
off
for this
topic.
one.
So you guys
Yeah.
all around the board think that Taurus will become Falcon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys good with that?
Yeah.
Are you not? Why are you not good with it?
I don't know. Maybe it's because we just don't know enough about him yet. But I was kind of like, meh, he's okay.
Give him a chance. My goodness, I thought he was just okay too, but I'm willing to give Marvel the benefit of the doubt.
It was kind of funny that in like the first episode he gets fucking wrecked. Like he just smashed his head in.
He like kicked him into a freaking pole,
Yeah.
and then like just smashed his head in after.
and then poof, just like caved his head in.
I'm placing you under arrest.
Yeah. They just pimp slapped the shit out of him. So okay, so
Yeah.
now we'll go around. Tanner, what was your if you had to say you had a favorite episode, favorite part, favorite moment, what would you think it would be? Not all three, just one. Great. Really stellar work there. Do you need a second?
I think there's two. I think one, like, is at the very end when they kind of say screw it and we're gonna address it straightforward, no metaphors. We're gonna have Sam talk about being the Black Captain America and what that means and how they're gonna deal with problems from then on. And I like how straightforward they didn't try to like metaphor it and they didn't try and compare it like narratively, like they just did it. But narratively, my favorite part is when John Walker finally snaps.
And like does the shield thing.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I think that's the
moment, yeah.
coolest part, but I think that
That's a cool
Sam's is the most important part.
What about you, Gabe? What was your favorite part, moment, episode, whatever?
After they get arrested and the therapist walks in and they have that like one little scene where like they do the soul gazing and all that.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
like, hey, are y'all doing a hysteria concept? Stop it. And then, like, and it's just hilarious. They're like throwing quips back and forth, and then it gets real serious real fast. But it was like, if he was wrong about you, whenever Bucky told Sam, like, if he was wrong about you, he was wrong about me. I was like, ooh, that hit.
That's
That
a
hurt.
good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, John? You got a favorite moment?
Favorite moment, definitely the third act of the finale. Just that whole seeing. Wow, was it the whole episode? I don't know.
Yeah.
Seeing Falcon in the suit for the first time and seeing him kick ass. That was like one of the moments that I hadn't felt in a long time. That was like, these are the heroes saving the day, and you feel that warm feeling in your heart. It's like, wow, this is awesome.
All the reviewers are sleeping on the last episode. They all think it sucks. Like Rotten Tomatoes has it rated as like the lowest episode, and IGN gave it a
Rotten Tomatoes.
5.
5.
I don't know why.
But that happens
I
with
don't
all
know
the
why.
final episodes. I think
Yeah.
people
don't get like how it ends.
they don't get what they want.
As
and
far as
that's
like
the end of it.
compared to WandaVision, though, I thought it was miles. I felt like this
Oh,
show
yeah.
this show ended, and I felt like closure. Like I felt like the
Yeah,
arc
definitely.
closed, and there was nothing
Mhm.
left to like know. WandaVision kind of left me wanting a little more.
Yeah. I feel like there was supposed to be more in it.
But your favorite, you just love the whole episode, John, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean the whole fights and everything. It just felt like some heroes saving the day, and I haven't felt that in a very long time watching a superhero movie, aside from of course Endgame. But like, I feel like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies used to do it really well, with like that
Wow.
end fight always felt like the wow, this is the hero saving the day, and I got that feeling again watching the finale episode.
And that's about the only thing the Toby Spider-Man movies did well.
Why don't you just shut
That's
up?
ridiculous.
Why
I
don't you
could
just shut
fight
the hell
you.
up, man.
I could, dude. Spider-Man 2 is my favorite movie of all time out of all
Don't
cinema.
even.
Have you?
That is
Oh,
my
John, have
favorite
you not
movie.
seen it?
Oh,
Dude,
Dylan, why don't you
man.
just? I hate you, man. You shut your mouth.
God
You watch
dang,
Spider-Man 2
man.
and you tell me
Oh
it's
my
not good.
God.
I always rag on the
Aight,
Toby
but
movies,
Spider-Man
but I actually
3
like
though.
2 of them. And it makes me funny because people who are Toby fans
Wait,
get
wait,
so
wait.
upset.
Which
This
two?
this man will tell you that he loves Spider-Man 3 and call it the best cinematic masterpiece ever.
Who?
Oh.
Who?
Dylan.
No, but I will tell you that Spider-Man 3 is on par with the other 2. It's just
Oh my God.
they turned up the goof knob a little bit more, and everybody's like, "Oh, I can't take it anymore." But it's literally just
No.
one little step above
it
where they
is.
already were.
They
That is
really,
ridiculous.
I think it gets
Yeah.
separated too easily. I think it's just because it had a lot more going on than the other 2, where it felt different.
Yeah.
But I think
It
it's very
didn't,
similar.
where it wasn't just one villain. It was like 3.
Yeah, like it makes sense in the context of the story. It's just a little more campy.
Also, the
Yeah.
color grading, they turned up the HD and the color grading changed a little bit, so it just
They
feels
did,
a little
yeah.
bit
I
different.
can hear what you're saying. It feels a little more like less like raw. It feels more like a superhero movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm gonna
my favorite part, I
rewatch
think
this.
I
We're not
got,
talking about Spider-Man.
we're just going on Spider-Man for a little bit. My favorite part, if I had to say, I always do this. I don't know why, but I always seem to like tie 3 moments. One would be the Sam and Carly scene. I just thought that the writing in that scene was fantastic. I mean, that whole episode was my favorite episode. And then of course, when John, like the contrast between him and like Steve when he like goes full nuts and kills the refugee, or not the refugee, the flag smasher. That was awesome. I love the moment. My favorite part of that isn't when he's smashing him, but when he takes a step back and he like has the shield in one of his hands, like just one of his hands, and he like walks backward a little bit. I don't know why, but that like the way that was shot was just so
Man,
awesome.
shout out to the cinematography and
Dude,
did
for
that.
real.
they fucking killed it.
Insane.
They killed
Oh
it.
yeah.
And then I think this is gonna bewilder some of y'all, but and then my third one is the Bucky scene between him and Yuri. I know I just ragged on it like nobody's fucking business. Like I literally just talked about how it was too short and I didn't like it. But what they did with it,
It was a good scene though.
that's what I'm saying is what they did with it was still phenomenal. I still really, really enjoyed it.
Sure.
It was the only part of the show that like
Yeah.
made me cry. So it's like I thought it was fucking tastic. So
I just want to point out that earlier you told Tanner that okay, go ahead, Tanner. Like, what's your favorite part, episode, place? And then you were like, but don't answer all 3. Dylan gets to answer all 3.
Dylan
It's
gets
just-
to
I
the
just wanted
host
to
of the
point
show
that
gets
perks of being the host. Perks of being the host. Well, they're
There
all
you go.
tied, so they're just one. So did you guys like WandaVision or this more? What do you think?
I thought I was gonna like when I watched the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought I was gonna end up liking WandaVision more, but as it went on, I think it has more stuff.
You changed?
I don't know. I think they're 2 different things. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is more like
that's a
action
tough one,
packed,
man.
Like,
that's
and that
a
one's
tough one.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know.
Yeah. What about you,
It's hard to
Gabe?
compare.
I like discussing WandaVision while watching it more than I did Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I
There's
like
the
the
mystery.
I liked watching Falcon and Winter Soldier so much more than I did WandaVision, but I liked speculating a lot more about WandaVision and what was going on and all of that. I liked it more about that aspect.
What about you, John? You just kind of stuck.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one because, like Tanner said, they're very they're so different in my head that I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, that's a
I don't know.
testament to the creativity.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the same universe and they're completely different takes. But I definitely like WandaVision more. I think I think the first 3 episodes of this show are good, but like aren't great. Does that make
Definitely
sense?
dragging.
Sure,
They
yeah.
kind
My
of
only thing-
drag. I felt like the pacing.
It's a
is
slow
kinda-
burn.
It's a slow burn, yeah. And of course, it's built up for episode 4, and then the character conversations in episode 5 and 6. Which 4, 5, and 6 are, I think, better than a lot of WandaVision. Like, I think there's moments and like parts of those, like 4, 5, and 6, that are better than a lot of WandaVision. But as a show, as a whole, collectively, I liked WandaVision more.
But we can't say WandaVision was less of a slow burn than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's the
But
thing.
like,
Is like
that was
I
the
thought about
point
that
of it,
too.
though, right?
I thought about that too. But the first
enough.
3 episodes of WandaVision, like a lot of people have that opinion of, man, these first 3 episodes
Dude,
are
I
really
love
a
those
slow
episodes,
burn.
though.
Yeah.
I love.
I don't mind.
I think they're great.
I don't
but-
mind a slow burn. I think it's cool.
I don't
but
mind
just can't say- you just can't say that Falcon and Winter Soldier is more of a slow burn.
I think the reason why Falcon and Winter Soldier felt more like a slow burn is because you expect it to be action-packed. You expect it to be more action-packed than WandaVision.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like that for the first 3 episodes or so.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's like the first 3 episodes they're heavy character, and then
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
episode 4 happens, which is like heavy character, but also like heavy, like shit's going down. And then 5 happens, and it's character after shit went down, so it feels like really high stakes. You know what I'm saying? Or at least it feels really important. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with WandaVision, it didn't feel like a slow burn to me because there was a consistent level of intrigue throughout the entire, throughout the first 4 episodes. I was consistently thinking, like, what the hell is going on? Like the scene where they're at the
Exactly.
table and then the dude starts choking on the meat or whatever, and she's like, stop it. Like, that haunted me for like 2 weeks. Like, I was thinking about that for the 2 weeks, like the entire duration of the show. So not 2 weeks, you know what I'm trying to say. So the level of intrigue up until episode 9, which I found left me wanting a little bit, but was still good, I feel made it a better show for me overall. I mean, they're both fantastic, but I feel it made it a better show overall for me than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I don't know. I think that might just be because of the way that it's I feel like you feel more satisfied after watching a mystery movie than you do after watching like
An action
Rocky
adventure.
movie. Rocky. I don't know. Maybe not Rocky because that's
Get out of here. That's one of the greatest of all
Yeah.
time.
I meant to say.
No.
I don't know. I meant to be like a movie where.
Expendables.
I've
Maybe.
never
Yeah,
seen the
sure.
Rocky
Yeah,
movies,
sure.
so I don't know.
Expendables,
Red.
where like, because I feel like the enjoyment is different. Like, I feel like WandaVision has like this mystery level where you're trying to figure stuff out, and that's what keeps the intrigue. But like, there's nothing really to figure out in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You're just watching characters bounce off of each other.
They're very different.
So,
Yeah,
They're very different.
exactly. That's what I meant by I liked watching Falcon and Winter Soldier more than I liked discussing WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to talk about Falcon.
Yeah, it is. It's true. John, where can people reach out and find you on social media?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a follow on Jon, spelled JON _ Costa 364 on Instagram. Yeah, I'll have some future projects coming up, I'm sure. Maybe
You you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, but I wanna save that. They'll know about the YouTube channel
Later on.
when they need to.
What about you, Tanner? Where can people find you on social media?
They can just find me on Instagram, where my name is spelled exactly like it is spelled probably in the description. TANNER.
Is it different everywhere?
Yes. I hate you. Is that a callback?
It's a callback to last episode when Kirby said, "Oh, my name is Kirby, but it's different everywhere."
I did do that shit.
Okay.
he goes, "You can find me at Kirby Teleski, but it's different
But
on
just-
every platform."
Just look up Kirby Teleski. You'll find it.
Anywhere you'll find
Love
me.
you, Kirby.
That will conclude our show. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. It really, really helps us out. Hit that notification bell. Our next Let's Talk About show will be on Mortal Kombat and should be coming out very, very soon after this. Yeah, sometime within the next week. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. It was a great time, and we hope to have everyone back watching for the next one.